10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Team Secret's turn to pick.
Shadow Demon.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Team Secret's turn to bat.
Phantom Lancer.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Team Secret's turn to ban.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Team Secret's turn to pick.
Radiant team pick.
Void Incarnate. Anti-Mage.
Choose your hero.
chips over here.
Yeah, I'm sure people would absolutely love that. But yeah, we have game 1 of Team Secret versus Team Nigma. Mr. Jenk, we have an anti-mage. I don't know if I've ever been so excited to see this here, because I remember from TI1, everyone hated watching this hero because it was in literally every single game. But it's been a while, my friend. It's been a while.
Yeah, now nobody plays it, but I do think that, you know, compared to before, it's a good hero. Mana Break now does this percentage damage, so he scales so incredibly well into the late game against heroes like Timber and Void Spirit, who are going to have huge mana pools to abuse. But with that being said, once again, these are 2 drafts where I don't see any like really abusable things on either side, other than maybe the fact that Team Secret don't exactly have good tower pushers for the early game. So I think Nigma can probably take some sort of a map advantage with the Dragon Knight.
Okay, well, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. But Nigma obviously doing very well at the major. Kind of fell flat in that first upper bracket match against, I believe it was Viking, and they have to stay alive here. I mean, it's weird to see Secret and Team Nigma in the lower brackets so early. That's probably the biggest shock of the tournament so far. Of course, Secret has kind of fallen off past couple months, which is kind of sad to see considering how much dominance that they were kind of showing for the last, I want to say, year. Like, really bad timing for them with TI being postponed, because they would have been the favorites, I feel like. But I
don't even know what to blame for it. You know, I feel like any time you try to justify it rationally, it's like, it just kind of sounds like you're making excuses for these like teams that were once top teams. There's an element to, like, I think all of the other regions have gotten better too. Like, I definitely feel it in NA where the tier 2 teams are a lot closer to the tier 1 teams, and the tier 1 teams have gotten a lot better because there's this constant practice going on throughout the season.
Right. As Kuro getting blocked in and good impale, try to set up the cold feet. Will be successful, but able to actually finish off Kuroku right now. And Miracle will be playing the Razor. So we've been seeing a lot more Razor recently. We've talked about it last game, or last series, I should say. Kind of bounced around in terms of position. We've seen it 1, 2, and 3. Will be the mid laner this time. Not the typical Miracle hero that we see from time to time. As you see a nice stun here from Yapsor, but hey, Miracle is this guy that you want mid, playing like these mobile heroes. We talk about this all the time with like these really high mechanically skilled players, but I mean, what can he do on Razor, Jenkins?
You know, you say that, but I've seen a lot of Quinn playing this Razor, and
I mean, Quinn's been playing Viper as well. He's been playing all the boring.
Yeah, but he plays them like they're fast heroes. As Kuroki just gets chased away here. Yeah, we have this aggro tri-lane coming out from
Impale. Secret is up. Gonna get it off with that cold feet. This will be first blood going the way of Secret. It was just a matter of time there. Actually expended a salve as well, so a lot of economical damage done to Kuroki specifically.
A fairly typical play against the anti-mage to run this aggro. GH doing some crazy wrap around here.
Yeah, that's
1 minute in. I mean, I guess it's a 1v1 top, so you don't just, you know, you don't want to just sit with like a DK versus a Timber Saw as a Shadow Demon. He's got level 1 disruption, so GH doesn't feel like he has anything to do right now other than just stack up camps, which is exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, but once he gets that Shadow Point, that's when he can really stack those camps.
Hell yeah.
That's when you love to have a Shadow Demon on your team. But we are not there yet because, like you said, he has the disruption, which, I mean, it's going to be a save. This is one of my favorite supports to watch in a game of Dota because you have the save. You can, you know, use that as an offensive spell to gain illusions if there's a good illusion here, which PL is to some degree at least. And his ult can scale extremely well with an Aghanim Scepter if you're actually able to get farm, which the hero is able to get farm in the jungle if you let him. Well, that's actually going to be the case. We'll see, as a lot of damage being done to mind control here. Of course, we've seen this matchup so many times, the Timber versus Dragon Knight, and Dragon Knight doesn't fare too well.
This is one of those matchups where Timber has a lot of kill threat, but if for whatever reason you can't, oh, just TP's out. If for whatever reason, if you can't kill the Dragon Knight, he does just regen up. So mind control is doing quite well in this lane so far, compared, I think, how people would expect. But it does get a lot worse once Timber gets some levels, especially with the Chakram. It's unlaneable.
Yeah, they're very even on CS, like you said. See that ILTW went for the early Ring of Health. No big surprise there. Didn't quite go the Gremlo style with 0 items into Ring of Health, but perhaps he hasn't seen those replays yet.
They've definitely watched them, but I think it's just more of an offlaning thing. LTW knows.
I see.
That if he was an offlane anti-mage, he would be going for Ring of Health first and possibly for a Meteor Hammer. It's not funny.
Yeah, we have to wait and see if Meteor Hammer is on the list of anti-mage. This is the one hero in Dota that the build basically has never changed. We saw some Vanguards at some point in history. We saw, you know, some Vlads even, you know, the Ring of Tarask as well. As we're going to see GH take a little bit of harassment here, but that Cold Feet does connect. But back to the tri lane we go for Team Nigma. But yeah, it will be the Treads Battle Fury, so real shocker. But what do you think of AM versus PL as we get to like mid game and beyond?
It's one of those ones. I don't know if they can kill him unless they trap him here.
Good attempt there. Probably taking a lot of damage though. But GH taking more damage in turn. Matu completely out of mana, which you have to come to expect. You're playing against an AM.
So anti-mage can definitely accelerate and get to like 3 to 4 items before PL can, but PL has this really nice diffusal blade timing where anti-mage can't do anything, and then late, like super late game, if they have equal items, I think that a PL will very likely kill an anti-mage. You just drain his mana. AM can't really clear through the illusions very easily. Doesn't build a Mjolnir. Battle Fury doesn't quite do enough. But if you do get the jump on him and you mana break the PL, you go stat item, so he does have high mana. So it's one of those things that matter. It really matters like how the game is going for either of these heroes.
Yeah, and AIM is just one of those heroes that feels like you need to get off to, like once you get that Battle Fury, your farming speed with the blink just going through the jungle, you can accelerate it higher than most carries. But there is a timing because at certain point AM does fall off. But we're talking about late game, of course. The tier 5 items and whatnot, Jenkins.
Yes, of course.
We can hope for that as usual.
Yeah, that's where you would become the analyst and I would become the play-by-play.
I mean, I have a lot of experience with it, as you know.
I gotta say, playing Pog with you and your friends was a horrible experience, and it made me realize I don't know what to do past 60 minutes.
And that's all I know what to do is past 60 minutes.
Absolutely.
But Matu now, in terms of CS, 27-7 versus ILTW's 22-3, so he's getting better at that exchange despite being out of mana constantly because of that harassment. And I think just based on that, and across the lanes with the Timbersaw doing well as well, you see Secret with a bit of a lead here. Chakram, you see the level 6 is there now for Zai, but not able to find a kill as of yet. You see a disruption, trying for the block again, but Matu has the doppelganger, so we'll be safe.
Yeah, I mean, not much kill threat with this like aggro tri-lane from Nigma. I mean, they have 0 stuns, unless you want to consider disruption a stun. So really nothing they can do to stop PL from walking away other than just slowly chip him down.
What are your thoughts on... Well, I have to wait here. I have a very stupid question and topic to talk about.
I like these ones.
What do you think of Ags on Shadow Demon versus PL? Break mechanic, basically. You get 3 of them.
Does it follow when he jumps?
Well, Mind Control's going to get pressured here. We're going to see some TP come in, as it is GH, the man we're talking about. I mean, it disables the ult and disables... Actually, I'm not sure if it disables his third spell, but disables the ult, right? So you can't create new illusions, but you have Doppelganger still.
Yep.
It doesn't dispel the Shadow Demon ult.
Okay, then, I mean, that seems pretty good. Anything that...
And you get 3 of them. Right?
Anything that stays on the original PL after Doppel is a way of countering him.
Mind Control, he is in Dragon form, and he has to be pretty careful, though, because Zai can obviously burst him down if they get the right combo here. Miracle, as the Invis rune, pops it and walks towards mid. See if he can set anything up here, but there's nobody in the vicinity. We see some stacks come out again. As Secret already with a 2K net worth lead at 7 minutes, Jenkins.
Yeah, I think that's mainly it's mainly Timbersaw versus DK, but they are winning all 3 lanes.
Oh, Miracle's gonna pop his ult, has a static link applied to Nisha. He's gonna actually be able to burst him down. The Aether Remnant does come out, but that ult for Miracle, more than enough damage, but he might get gone on here. Yapzor misses the Impale. Kind of pressure here. Still a lot of damage from Miracle. He has to be careful. GH is in the vicinity. Doesn't even need to save Miracle now, as he just walks out just fine. Really cool. That was a Miracle literally just walked and killed.
Yeah, well, he did it because he saw that he had no mana to use his W or his Astral Step. Like, Miracle looked at his mana, calculated that he had enough for maybe the Aether Remnant, but not enough for either the Dissimulate or Astral Step. So that's just big brain stuff for Miracle there.
Haste.
I mean, because like there was like a 20 mana window. Yeah, look at this. He even has a bottle charge. So he could bottle, but the Razor's constantly doing damage, so it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So he sees that he's got like 70 mana, and he knows the mana cost of these abilities.
Yeah, so Miracle ends up getting the solo, and he doesn't even die for it. That's kind of crazy considering how many heroes actually rotated for Secret. Basically cut the lead in half as a result of that. We see the disruption here onto Nisha. Okay, we're just praising Miracle. Now he walks into 3 heroes. You see KuroKy trying to save him as Miracle gets off this plasma field. You have to think Nisha should be able to finish him off, and indeed he does.
This is the Whitemon situation all over again, isn't it? All right, no praising players, because then they immediately die after the replay.
Very true. KuroKy trying to dodge the Aether Remnant, does so successfully. But Nisha has an Astral Step, and that'll be enough. So double kill for Nisha after getting solo killed by Miracle. So kind of just wrap that back around as Mind Control now taking tons of damage from Zai, who's basically out of mana. Still has a Soul Ring and Arcane Boots up, though. And GH TP's in to support.
Zai is huge in this game. The thing is, though, he doesn't really want to pressure this top tower because it doesn't get much for him. Oh, so he just walks over and he steals the stacks instead.
Oh, yeah. That feels very good. If he's able to actually finish these off, GH is in the vicinity, though, gets the disruption. Mind Control, Dragon Form is available. As you see the jumping onto Miracle, this would be a huge kill for Secret, and they just blow him up right off the bat. Now, Puppy's being the one that Mind Control focuses on. I think if you're Secret, you're more than happy with this exchange.
Zai doesn't even bother with Mind Control. He's too tanky.
And this stack is still up, and this is where Zai can really do a lot of economical damage, because this took some time for Nigma to actually set up. Mind Control gets the Breathe Fire off, but it's only level 1. The Shadow Poison does help quite a bit here, and the Dragon Tail to follow. One. Tough to tell who actually got the Shadow Poison does help quite a bit here. And the Dragon
It just
Tail
goes
to
to
follow.
show both teams at this point lack the damage to kill either a Dragonite or a Timbersaw, who are both effectively the same hero at this point, right? With the passive.
That's true, yeah.
Like, look how aggressively Zai is positioning. Nobody can kill him, but on the other side, Mind Control can kind of do the same thing. Although he's top.
As we can see the neutral creeps and Ancients, so it looks like I got the better of that for sure. As Miracle's in a lot of trouble again. They're gonna just burst him out, trying to get healed. Nice save from GH, but will it be enough to dissimulate? Finishes off Miracle. Another death for him. The Astral Step takes out GH in turn.
That was amazing spell casting from Zai there. Just the fact that he threw the Chakram towards Puppy and then walked back towards Miracle, chaining through, pulling the Chakram through, so a double hit on the hero that was disrupted, and also getting the follow-up kill. Like, that's just a Timbersaw player thing right there. That was nice.
Yeah, so the mid tier 1 is down in favor of Secret. It's a 4K net worth lead at 11 minutes. And again, I mean, talk to me about this, where obviously we talked about Team Nigma having a really good showing at the major. How much of this is experimentation? I mean, it's an AM. We don't get to see that hero all too often. How much is this them just kind of being lost right now to some degree? Which again, this is their own admission in a post-game interview at the major that they got figured out.
Look at the chain.
Yeah.
Did I say Puppy? I meant GH.
That's fine. Everybody knew what you were talking about, Jenkins.
Okay, there he is. Well, technically, I mean, no, there's no technically. That was GH. Anyway, what was the question you asked?
I forgot already. Is GH, speaking of which?
No!
Yep, the curse is real. My question was, oh, we have to wait again because Secret are just relentless here. Just continuing to beat down on Team Nigma, have control of the jungle essentially now. Took that tier 1 bottom as well, so tower advantage 2-0. But yeah, basically, how much of this is Team Nigma? Why am I even thinking about anything else right now? Is Miracle, again, the double Astral Step. Nobody in remotely close for Nigma, as Secret are just dominating right now. Back to my question.
If you want action, just start asking me a question.
That's true.
If you want somebody to die, then start praising them. Oh, Mind Control with the absolutely amazing... Anyway, what were you saying?
I don't remember.
Tower is under attack.
How much of this is them experimenting versus just not playing well in the last week?
You know, I don't like the experimenting excuse anymore, just because I kind of feel like the Animajor in general, there was a lot of like experimentation happening within each series.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
A lot of people were really innovating. This Holy Locket Eon Disc stuff, like nobody thought a couple of weeks back that we'd be talking about how OP these items are. In fact, Holy Locket's complete meme back then. So it's like everything is experimentation at this point. So it's just, it seems like, you know, if Secret's winning, they just have a better grasp of the current meta.
Yeah, my control showing off that blink dagger. They're gonna get the kill, but it is only Puppy. But if they can get the tier 1, it'll be pretty nice. ITP's in to defend. See if he can be successful, as we have a counter smoke now from Secret onto 2 members, including Nisha. They're gonna try to backstab here. I think they might have to give it the tower, but they might get some kills here to make up for it. There's Miracle, up the Chakram. Astral Step just misses. Dissimulate to follow, though, into the Resonant Pulse. The double impale, beautifully done. Secret with that Astral Step ends up finishing off Miracle yet again, and the egg is a super easy kill. And now Mind Control getting chased down. And Jenkins, this is turning into a true shellacking. There's going to be 4 dead as Secret. They even defended that tier 1 tower. I thought that would be dead for sure. I mean, ILTW obviously can't show up to fight. Doesn't even have his Battle Fury yet. Still 300 away.
Yep, but
not looking good for them right now.
Matamba TP's in, realizing that there is this opportunity to defend the tower as long as he TPs. They needed his damage. Zai standing in front of it it's something. It's a wall, but on top of that, you need damage, and so he TPs in. He gets active. He knows Anti-Mage can't do that on the other side, and it results in a free tower and 4 kills. Or keeping the tower alive, I should say.
Yeah, and Matu, I believe he has his Diffusal being delivered, has the casual Ring of Health, so we'll be going for a Hood next to get extra tanky. It feels like when you're PL, like, this is obviously a much cheaper item than Battle Fury, but you can start fighting at least, right?
Yeah.
At least to some respect.
Yeah, I think so. Diffusal's, I mean, such a solid item these days. The stats on it are ridiculous for the cost. It's a little bit worse on Illusion heroes, but whenever you're against these heroes like Razor, AM, and DK that just use their mana, but really low mana pools, it's still a god tier item on these Illusion heroes.
Yeah, so right now, Secret just completely dominating in this first game of the best of 3. And remember, the loser of this series is out of the tournament. And this is the first round of the lower bracket. Zai, very, very difficult to kill right now.
I like that Miracle,
up these creeps.
He's going for BKB first instead of some other items. Like a lot of the time you see some Yasha BKB or like a Yule's BKB on the Razor mid because, you know, those items, they help you farm, help you be a little bit more active, and it's not just about team fighting. But at this point, Miracle's not able to like walk out and farm, and he's not able to survive without the BKB, so he knows that he's gonna need to be fighting soon, and the only way that he's gonna do that without immediately feeding in every fight is with the BKB. So he's got no choice but to basically rush it in this game.
Right. Fortification is used, and the siege is surviving for now with Matu continuing to pound away. I mean, looking at the mini-map, I don't even think they're defending this.
Just a solo PL at 16 minutes taking the tower. This is one of the most underrated things about this hero, I think.
Here they come.
You can tank the tower with illusions like this. This is the BSJ classic. He's very biased. He'd love to pass this game. Loves Europe.
I love how that's just turning into a meme now. It's just good stuff. Yeah, a tier 2 tower at 16.5 minutes, so the outpost control will be the way of Secret as well. Just adding insult to injury with that extra XP to come per minute. Okay, what does Nigma need to do? Obviously, they need that Battle Fury, which he should have, right? Yeah, so he has that. But when can AM fight? I feel like, I mean, historically speaking, it's after Manta, and even then you don't want to fight.
I can tell you what they need to do, and I believe it's about to happen. I think Mind Control needs to get this mid tower, just blink and take it with the dragon form. He's in a good position to do it. It might be worth suiciding for. Maybe this is a Gremlo strat right now. But he's already farming so dangerously, and I think you need to make space for AM. You need some... You need the map to be open for the AM to farm. You need the map to be open for you to split push.
Is this like a poor man's Leshrac move?
It's kind of a poor man's Leshrac. Absolutely.
On a very long cooldown, as Nisha jumps with the Astral Step, gets the Yules into the Aether Remnant. There is an egg on the other side, though. Question is, can Miracle be bursted down before the egg pops? Astral Step. There's the stun from the egg. He's getting healed for now. Might be able to turn this around, but no, Miracle is the first to fall in this engagement. Nisha looks like he will be the trade, and I think at this stage, Nigma will take that, but it's going to cost them Karoki as well. There's the mana burn. ILTW gets that mana void off. He's finally come to fight a bit here. I mean, again, it's not really his problem because this is how AM plays. Just has to go back to farming. I mean, he's not that much. Feels like he's not that useful until he gets Manta.
Yeah, he's he's doing his thing. You can never blame an AM if you lose before this point. It's just
Well, you can
like,
blame them for picking it.
you can yeah, you definitely can do that, and I honestly would do that on this patch quite a bit. But this is Enigma, so
True.
it'd be careful flaming ILTW in a pub.
Yeah. Probably a good move. I mean, it's a good thing you live in the NA. You don't have to worry about that usually.
Well, my AM would already be down mid, so I wouldn't have to worry because
That's true. That is the NA classic.
there would be no threat. He just does it.
But what about the Roche capability for Secret? It's not a whole lot minus armor or anything like that to take him quick. So it feels like it's kind of methodical approach right now from Secret.
Yeah, pretty much just the people can do damage to the Roche, and when that's your best option, you just take map control, which is what they're doing.
Enigma, 4-man smoke right now.
Huh? Kuroki's not there. This is interesting. They look like they're looking for some sort of solo pick here because I don't know if this you need Kuroki here for the damage. And Toma's not going to die to these two.
Yep, that is true. He's going to get dragged until the start, though. Getting mana burn to a high degree. Gets the doppelganger off. Mana Void does basically nothing. And they're going to try to turn this around to mind control now. Getting completely surrounded with all these illusions. And the Aether Remnant is there to lock him down. And you're right, they weren't able to take out Matu.
Thank God, I'm about to look like such an idiot.
GH. Oh, there's the Yules. Just at the right moment. A-Blast coming in. Impale, goodbye. 8K network lead for Secret, and yeah, this is still continuing on to be a shellacking.
I think
5 seconds remaining.
OG's turn to ban.
And that was before I knew about the liquid swap as well. So
Yes.
now I do think this makes a bit of sense, but you know, taking a bit of the copium myself, it's still a little bit sad to see 2 teams with 3 TIs between them. Of course, it's a
10
different liquid org,
seconds remaining.
or different liquid roster, I should say.
Yeah.
You know, meeting in the lower
5
bracket so soon.
seconds
First round,
remaining.
immediately they're
Turn
both
to
here.
ban.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't put the yeah, the org has a 2 TI as the 1 TI, but I wouldn't put this team as the like, not to take anything away from them, but they didn't
No,
really
of course,
accomplish that.
yeah.
But I agree with you. I mean, I was surprised by OG particularly because they had played with Samil before. Maybe they were just getting used to it, but it didn't look too hot in the games again. P, I think for
10
Liquid's much more
seconds
understandable.
remaining.
The team is meant to be a team. Getting someone that can play like Mickey,
Turn to
particularly
ban.
with how weird Liquid plays, is rare. You also picked up I can't reiterate this enough. There wasn't a carry, so I feel like Liquid was much more understandable being put in that position. I'm excited to see them back in not full form, but the better form today, and I'm hoping that OG has reestablished themselves, or will reestablish themselves today, as they will prove that they can do it with
10
Samil as well.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, and it's something to be said of their
Turn to
opponent. VP, so far, since they've started Season 1 of the ESL online DPC leagues, upper division, they haven't dropped a single game in an ESL tournament so far, which is kind of just ridiculous. A single series, I should specify. And that record continues into the ESL 1 summer events. But let's go ahead and switch gears then and get underway here with our draft. OG versus Team Liquid, 1 best-of-3 series here. Only 1 slot into the next round of the lower bracket draft now
10
live on your
seconds
screens.
remaining.
Opening picks starting to come through now. We can see OG going back
5
here to
seconds
the
remaining.
puck to be here. I mean, it's OG. I mean, it is going to be probably mid lane, but I hesitate to even really say anything with a high degree of certainty with these guys.
I like then we have the Oracle Broodmother as a start for Team Liquid. I like this too. Back with Insania's great heroes, Oracle probably one of his, if not his best hero, honestly. He's just really insane on this Oracle. Not a hero that's very often seen these days because the save now is given to Winter Wyvern instead. But I feel like the
5
Oracle is
seconds
still very, very
remaining.
solid if played in the right lineup. And you combine this, of course, the Broodmother. You have a really solid carry and someone that's going to create an immense amount of space. And OG already started by not picking up a hero that's great against Broodmother. If you're OG and you're playing more traditional Dota, maybe the Mars comes to mind as just a more traditional Broodmother counter. That's your idea. Otherwise, it's probably going to get banned. We'll see. If you define your 2 cores this early, that's difficult to draft around. Or sorry, it's easy to draft around. So maybe OG just has to go for support here. It depends. But we'll see how threatening they think the Broodmother is.
The Wyvern is tempting to pick up versus the Brood, because of course Splinter Blast is amazing for the lane as well at all stages of repelling the Broodmother. You can fly around the trees and even look to chase her. Winter's Curse brings a lot of kill potential to the Broodmother herself to die to the Broodlings. But Oracle usually not going to be caught in a Winter's Curse, and he can very easily get the save off from a safe range. So it can be hit or miss versus the Oracle, but good versus the Brood, as OG instead will go for the off lane Timber versus that Broodmother to have versus the Broodmother.
Remaining.
Not bad. I mean, you still define the 2 cores. I feel like if you're going to define the 2 cores, I'd rather see the
5
Mars, honestly, than the
seconds
Timber. I
remaining.
think Timber's okay against Broodmother. You can hunt her through the trees. You don't die to the Spiderlings too easily. You murder the Spiderlings super easily as well. So, yeah, I like this. I don't mind. Now you're probably going to find 2 supports now in the second drafting phase. We'll see. Yeah, okay, Timber's fine. You can also, I like the Timber against the Oracle particularly though, because I feel like you can chase him down really easily. Fate Sict
10
won't help against all his
remaining.
spear damage, and Oracle is just chased out of the fight. And Oracle has 2 choices: either
5
stay and
seconds
get the good
remaining.
false promise, but then die to the Timber Saw, or leave and then let your carry die to the Timber.
Yeah, and unfortunately, unlike other matchups like a Storm Spirit who excels at hunting an Oracle, Timber's usually a little bit too tanky to simply just, you know, die to a Hex and a stun, so you can't even use yourself as bait a little bit or try and play it cheeky with like a Glimmer Cape standing way behind the fight, because he's got insane range and a lot of reach with that Timber Chain to reach and cut you down. Couple support bans now coming through, looks like from OG. Taking rid of the Enchantress. Liquid, though, looking to secure the Broodmother lane with at least the Troll ban. I'd expect another carry ban out from Liquid just to make sure the Brood is able to at least break even in the lane. Broodmother, much like a Viper, a lot like a TA, you don't want to really come out of that lane behind. And whereas TA or some other hero that's geared to when the early game can recover, Brood's not really meant to flash farm like that.
Yeah, that's true. The hero is more about, well, in the case of Brood, that he has to dominate the lane or to have a decent lane and then proceed to take over the top part of the map.
Yep.
I mean, he's a good flash farmer to a degree. It's just that you don't want him to recover, because if he's recovering, then you pretty much have 3 farming cores, or at least 2 farming cores.
And it's hard. It's hard. Like you do take over that space, but you need to have an early game lead to establish that space. And if you get shut down, then it just never starts. It never starts for the Broodmother. Right, a couple other Brood counters-ish being banned out with the Luna. Naga Siren is a hero I've seen go toe-to-toe in the laning stage versus the Brood and absolutely beat back the Spider to hell, slapping it around basically with all the chanclas provided by the mirror image. But I don't know if we're going to see that. We saw a couple of games of Naga Siren, but it was more in a response to the Doom to be able to reset the fights, more so than it was, for the laning matchup specifically.
10 seconds.
Wondering, I was talking to a couple pro players. They're telling me that a good option against the both in lane otherwise would be the Phantom Lancer. I haven't really seen that. Hector's convinced it was. Maybe OG will try that a bit later. That is a hero that I'm sure Sumail can play. Because the idea is that you avoid it in lane very easily with Doppelganger. You can never get caught by the Brood. You have a lot of armor when you get the Phantom Rush, so Brood can't really fight you too much. And later on, the Brood won't kill you easily in the lane. And you can just kind of stay there farming around the Spiderlings and everything. You don't clear the Spiderlings, but that's rarely the job of a carry. People, when they think of heroes that beat the Broodmother, they always think of very traditional, cleave carries, PA, Sven. And yeah, those work, but it's just not your job to clear the Spiderlings. Because if you're doing that, then your carry is staying in an inefficient farming space just to defend the tower. There's the Mars I was talking about, by the way.
Yeah, I like this out from Liquid. They'll go ahead and snag that one. Mars mid then, looks like it, right? Because I think you definitely want your Brood. I mean, we could definitely see kind of...
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, okay.
5 seconds
Not too strong, though, versus the Puck. I will say neither of these 3 heroes. The Brood can definitely chase a Puck if you have the spare webs and time. But I would say Puck not super concerned with these 3 heroes in terms of the amount of catch and the amount of disable that they really have to be able to play around a Puck. So I think these last 2 picks coming from Liquid should be a little bit better addressed for the Puck. That's the only concern I have right now. It's not too bad of a game here for the hero.
Yeah, I mean, you still have the potential, Lion pick, right?
For sure.
That could just be your answer to the Puck entirely. I like the Mars against Timber.
Lion.
Oh, well,
there's the counter pick.
There you go. There you lost it.
I was literally about, I didn't want to cut you off, but I was literally about to say OG could just take it now, though.
Yeah, I like Lion pick for. I mean, it's just a nice block pick because I'm assuming Team Liquid's gonna pick it now. So what else? I mean, I've seen some teams try the Shadow Shaman in these situations, which I think is fine actually here, because you already have a Brood, right? So this combo is not bad.
Yeah.
Shackles is pretty strong against Timber.
Serpent Wards are super strong against Timber, actually. Much like a Tidehunter, doesn't attack real fast. If he has his Chakram out, he's got to retract it to be able to attack. And, well, Timber Chain, right, so
But Shadow Summon is a bit weak. That's the concern you have. You can go for Taiga Special like the Earth Spirit, which is good against Puck and Timber against the Silence. That's all. But Earth Spirit has not been very popular these days. Nyx has been banned. Check this time. No Nyx.
Check this time. Yep. No, it's a good one. It would have been a good catch for them. Hoodwink.
Okay. Hoodwink is alright. Like, the break is very good against Timber, but I honestly cannot reiterate this enough. Bushwhack is so slow as a projectile. So slow. So the only way Puck gets caught by the Bushwhack is either doesn't see it or even set up stun for it. And as you mentioned, you don't have any setup stun just yet for Liquid, so that could be a problem later on. I think Hoodwink is solid in this draft they have. I like Hoodwink Mars combo. Very similar to how DK plays, right? And I like Hoodwink against Timbersaw, but Hoodwink does suffer against the Puck and a freebie game from.
Yeah, and the only other issue I see with picking Hoodwink without really knowing much about the lane, I mean, it could be, no, it's going to be a Hoodwink 4 with the Oracle here, is that Hoodwink, like, you can get a really good lane if you are playing against some heroes that really like playing in trees, because Hoodwink does that, but a little bit better than you. So now OG, with this information, can make sure they get a decent position 5 hero that doesn't mind just sitting in the middle of the lane, or a carry for that matter, who doesn't mind just, you know, man fighting and doesn't need to play with vision to avoid any auto attacks or gimmicks that the Hoodwink has. That's the only issue I have with it. But again, I still think it's good versus the Timbersaw. But the CK pick here could be a hero that might be able to actually fight the Broodmother nice and early on. Carries a stun. Probably going to need to be saving that one for the insatiable hunger periods to dissuade her from fighting.
I mean, if you combine the, I'm assuming it's, well, I don't know, but it could be a CK Lion, right? You have a double stun lane, so that's enough to deal with insatiable hunger. Chaos Knight himself has his own healing with a Chaos Strike. I don't, that actually is a pretty solid pickup. And with Reality Rift, you always pull the Broodmother out of the trees, sometimes even out of the webs, depending on how she's positioned, so she has less liberty. Similar idea for Hoodwink as well, who gets bursted down by Chaos Knight. I like this pick a fair amount. Mars can be a bit dangerous. God's Rebuke, you know, Spear, discovers the real Chaos Knight, murders him, but I'm liking this pickup. I think the trap by OG is looking solid, honestly.
I'm wondering if they do end up wanting to lane the Lion as a 4 and a 5, and I reckon that's what Liquid are discussing currently here too, considering their next pair of bans.
OG's turn to
Because the guy can always be flexed, right? So you're thinking, what's the highest value supports that OG could pick up here? What are you really lacking on OG? I mean, yeah, some pretty solid catch, because 3 of your heroes already bring catch. A good frontliner.
Counter initiation's decent with your puck, right? And you can be flexible in how you use the coil if needed to.
5 seconds remaining.
It's looking pretty good.
A bit of save wouldn't be bad for you.
Well, I mean, we still have the Wyvern, which is available. So there's another support here that I'm thinking. I mean, I still like Wyvern versus Brood, to be honest. It is a bit weak to the Hoodwink, because Wyvern is one of these heroes that does like to hide in the trees and come out and cast the big teamfight ultimate, and Hoodwink is going to make that a little bit more difficult. Same thing with the Mars, same thing with the Broodmother. All these heroes can very easily just, you know, burst down through trees. Hoodwink, of course, with the Scurry. There's that to be said about it.
In addition to the save as well, is that sometimes you can, like, cold embrace a target, right? It's very similar to how Oracle plays. Like, you cold embrace something, and then you realize Broodmother's coming right after you, and can't fodder. You don't want to be in that position. Of course, you can counter initiate them with Winter's Curse, but then you use the Winter's Curse just for the, just not why you picked the Wyvern. So there's that consideration. I actually thought the Grimstroke as a potential save was a really good. I like the Grimstroke, because you can get the Shard, of course. I don't think Shadow Demon is possible in this game. Ban the Ancient.
AA was the other one. AA was the other one I was thinking about, and then he left my head. Yeah, that would have been nice. Just more kill potential in the lane. It's CK AA is the same exact idea as CK Wraith King, CK Sven, right? Does give you a bit of kill threats, which is not really what Brood wants to be playing into. And they will go with the Wyvern. Okay.
I think it's a solid pick. I'm also always excited to watch Saksa play with. I'm hoping it's Saksa on the win. I'm a big fan of this pickup. And the guy's one of the best Winter Wyverns in the scene.
It would come down to the lane, wouldn't it? Right? It would come down to the lane. I mean, I guess you can still play Saksa.
But you can just swap it.
Yeah.
Nigma does this all the time. I don't see why not. Oh, that's a good Razor pickup. Like I said, like, Lilith doesn't know to play a normal hero, dude. You just pick him a weird carry and Lilith's all game. I think this is a pretty solid Razor. The Timbersaw is not going to do much against you in lane. You could even go for tri-lane and go against the Chaos Knight, that's fine. But then you have Broodmother against Timbersaw, so that's not ideal. He's really strong against Chaos Knight, good against Winter Wyvern as well. You're lacking catch, though, for the puck. That's the only thing I'm concerned about. That's immediate catch.
That was the big but. That was the big but I had here, and I think it's quite a large but, because tops in this game can absolutely kind of not quite free reign, because I think you know, these Fortune Ends into the root could set up here for a nice Spear of Mars into the Hoodwink, and then you're dead. But compared to all the games we've seen earlier, where I've gone on and on about how impossible this game seems to try and split push lanes and defend, OG they've got themselves a really good lineup to do it this time around. And you can buy so much time here for your CK for Sumail, just to get all the items that he needs to be able to just kind of find Insania on the back lines and just immediately pop him in these fights before he loses any damage from the Razor. That's where my concern comes in. I think Topson can get a lot of work done here for OG.
Yeah, in a similar vein, I feel like a CK can really quickly burst out a Razor before you can get the Static Link off, right?
Good point.
Before you even stake any of the damage. Like, the one strength I see is the Razor can go for the shard, that can be brutal against the Chaos Knight, because all your spells are targeted, and also you deal a lot of instances of damage. But if you just Reality Rift into the Razor, boom, 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 he's gonna get destroyed. You're gonna be running... I'm wondering if it's Quake with Broodmother. I know Quake is a good Broodmother player, so I'm wondering if it's gonna be a Broodmother mid, and that's the idea, or if it's Broodmother in the alpha and just play like Liquid swaps position. With Broodmother mid, that's a good way to deal with him, like, honestly. Just deny his lane.
Yeah, and it's not going to allow Puck to look and gank, right? It's definitely a hero that is going to require your full attention to make sure that once you do hit level 6 on the Broodmother, that you're not just instantly losing that tier 1 tower for free. So that would make life a little bit more difficult for the Puck. You know, being able to micro these spiderlings away.
Look at that.
One is lasting again on the Brood, so Liquid could get the job done here. Of course, playing again with a stand-in rather than their full-strength roster. Okay, with just a couple of days off here.
Prepare for battle.
So
Interesting.
they're gonna be running Boxy mid and Quake in the... Well, actually, I'm speaking too quick. Maybe it's not.
Almost.
Assuming that because Boxy IC has the ward, right?
Yeah, I mean, Quakefa has not purchased any items yet, though. Of course, just haul and spider butt down to the bottom lane to get the webs. I mean, it looks like from the way he's playing, he's just going straight down bottom to plant his early webs.
Yeah, okay.
And yeah, okay, it's bottom.
Bottom, alright. Well, there will be the ultimate mind strat, like mind games here by Liquid. You put the webs bottom, then Quakefa shows up mid. 0 webs, who cares? And then they're all preparing for the Broodmother.
Great way to troll the casters, I suppose. I think your enemies would be having a laugh at that. Just one thing I want to quickly point out for Boxy. Okay, hold on.
They were setting up the Fortunes onto 3 together with a Bushwhack. That stops any attempt of initiation, but OG just has stronger level 1, so they're going to be able to push him away from the Bounty Rune and take it for themselves. I think it's fine. So what draft are you favoring in the end? I'm slightly OG favored.
Yeah, I am too. I just think Topson's going to have a real easy time, to be honest, especially because it is going to be the Mars mid at the end of the day. The Mars early rotations, I think, can definitely make or break this, for sure, for Boxy. But I don't think he's got really too many easy targets either, to be honest. Lion, you know, is a good one. The Wyvern as well is a good one, but, you know, you can just Arctic Burn and fly over the walls of the arena and ruin his day. I don't think Timbersaw is dying too easily, especially if he gets an early Hooded Defiance up, so... It seems hard. I think like Liquid, they've drafted themselves into a position where they do need to play some really solid Dota and come up with some clever plays, as well as, of course, playing with a stand-in. But they're a team that can do it.
I don't think they got out-drafted because I just think their team, or their game is super high tempo. So that's why, like, I don't think one draft is better necessarily, just that one is clearly easier to execute. And I think that is definitely OG's. But okay, let's see what Liquid can do. This is their style. Strong lanes into a powerful mid game, and then hopefully close the game as soon as possible. Sometimes they struggle doing that last part, but that is what Liquid likes to do. And Skeleton used to play that way as well, I think, sometimes. When he played the Shroud, that was one of his favorite heroes.
Seb lacked the range, it looked like, on the Timber Chain level 1 to be able to break the static link, so just a little bit more damage for Illidan will make these first waves a bit easier. Real quick note on Boxy, as I was interrupted by the first blood attempt last time around. You know, hey Boxy, welcome back. Oh, they're going again.
Taiga did not go for Boots 1, which means Smail could just proceed on, but not go into that. Didn't want to rush for it. You were saying, anyway. Boxy, welcome back.
Yeah, so Boxy, welcome back. You know, oh, by the way, we don't have the full squad. Game 1 was normal. We played a normal offlane game. Second game, which they did lose, he was actually kind of playing a pseudo-carry Axe. They kind of awkwardly swapped lanes, you know, 6 minutes in even. So...
But Liquid has always had this belief, though. Like, there's no such thing as a role. They're just heroes that you're good with.
Whoa, so, the damage onto Quakefa.
Like, we've seen this before, you know? We've seen Quakefa play, like, the carry role sometimes in the mid lane, or Mickey doing the same thing. And in fact, Mickey sometimes plays the Ember Spirit from the mid lane, right? Like, it's not the first time that Liquid swapped roles, so I don't think it's crazy then to see that. It was just one Insania played carry that I was like, alright, that's a major swap.
Yeah, that one was definitely a bit more surprising when we saw who locked in the hard carry CK. Quakefa now finally up to level 2. He's going to need to pop this Insatiable Hunger at a good time. Still a bit of regen left, but Notel with plenty of mana and Sumail. Lots of damage to go around. They're going to go for Taiga. 1 second stun, though, is going to allow Taiga to get off the Fairy Fire. Notel can't close the gap in time.
Okay, now it could be that they get a counter kill on Sumail. Sumail needs to get away, Reality Rift, but he didn't get a crit there to heal. No-Tail will get a counter kill on Taiga, but that is not the first one. Huge win there for Liquid. However, No-Tail actually cleaning up the space. He wants to lane to himself. No-Tail going to be the pseudo carry here.
Yeah, I had my eyes on mid where Thompson and Boxy were fighting over the water runes here eventually. Looks like Boxy tried to get
caught the kill
top
spot?
One. Yeah, of course.
As Seb. There's a little timber chain on Seb, but yeah, once he has the level 2 reactive armor, it seems fine. How is Thompson doing in this mid lane since you've been watching it so carefully?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Pretty good. Lots of sparring out from Boxy, definitely showing his prowess here on the mid lane. Mars, for sure, is definitely playing like he could get plenty of extra free kills out from his rotations at level 6. But again, because we're not actually laning the Broodmother mid lane, Thompson has the liberty as well to rotate away. He's not going to be too concerned if he does end up rotating top that a Mars rather is going to be able to take his tower, say, as quickly as a Broodmother who's level 6 can.
That's true. In fact, I think there's a point where Quickva in the bottom lane. They have the Chaos Bolt. Nice little bushwhack. Quickva, still a bit slow, but Sumail in a similar position, can't quite get that kill. No-Tail is doing so much with a Splinter Blast. So yeah, I think there's a point where you rotate Timbersaw bottom, deal with Spiderlings. Ideally, you take the tower top as well. So maybe Hook rotates top early, takes the Razor kill, then you take the tower, and then you give freedom to set bottom. Or alternatively, the Puck goes bottom, kills Quakeva, you already weaken that, and you leave Timbersaw completely alone. And you go with Puck plus the 2 supports as a ganking squad, trying to find whatever kills you can muster.
Silken Bola onto No-Tail. 3-second stun now. 2 points here in the Chaos Bolt. Nothing in the crit here for Sumail. No-Tail now popping the Arctic Perk, looking to turn. They're going to be able to create a bit of gap as well here with the Reality Rift. They're going to get the kill onto Taiga top lane, though. It's going to be Insania the kill onto Saksa as they do boot Seb away from the lane for a bit.
Oh. That top lane we already expected it to be a bit difficult. Razor's strong laner. Timbersaw can't really do much against him once he gets Chakram, so not much surprise. I like the ring of protection early though for the extra armor. I don't like you can use the mana too much. It's really just the extra armor is kind of useful here, just to deal with the Razor a bit. He's gonna have free farm, but you're not too concerned about this. Timbersaw can recover eventually, especially because the Timbersaw probably got picked just to deal with a Broodmother. Well, that's your main goal anyway.
Thompson gets the bottle refill after Saksa takes the death. Saksa then sent along his merry way back to the top lane. He might be back to fight over power runes here in just under a minute. See if they decide to rotate anyone away from the bottom lane. I think this lane's a little bit too high octane for either of these supports to leave though, so it ought to just be the Lion and this Master Tier Oracle of Insania if they are going to rotate anyone away towards this mid lane.
The bottom lane, they go for No-Tail again. Another Splinter Blast. No-Tail have the Arctic Burn this time though, so he's going to fall to Quickva. And Quickva getting stronger and stronger. Now with the Orbital Corrosion, harder to get away from this Broodmother. But Sumail's still getting decent amount of farm. It's been cancelled out of the lane, and in fact, Quickva only has 9 lasers, so he's not too happy with his lane, even with the kills and the pressure he's putting out.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. It's decent pressure. He's suffering a little bit in the levels. It took him like I think 2 minutes to get up to level 2 here in this lane. As power runes spawning in, they're going to go 50-50. Thompson wins the toss with the illusion rune. Nothing too crazy for him. Shouldn't result in a kill. But Quickva doing a lot of work here with the Silken Bola. Now having the Orb of Corrosion and completing some infused raindrops is going to help a little bit here in terms of his ability to fight versus Sumail and a Winter Wyvern should she choose to show her face again in this lane.
Yeah, but one of the issues of having a strong lane against a Broodmother like a CK is that now when the Hoodwink leaves to naturally do Hoodwink things and try to gank, you leave the Broodmother in a very precarious position. CK can continue to farm, you can't really fight him 1v1, and that gives an advantage to OG when it comes to lane pressure. Top lane, Seb, he's tanking the static link nicely. Illidan really wants to commit, but it's a Timbersaw. You just can take the damage and use it to last it at best. Bottom lane, Sumail
looking for Taiga.
Squirrel wants to kill the Squirrel, but here comes a Mars. Boxy surprises them. They have Arena Blood still available.
He's up to the high ground.
Sumail could be in trouble. They actually spear him to the wall. Again, still the arena, just in case, but Sumail gets saved the cold embrace. Boxy doesn't want to let this target go. Fail, needs to go up to the high ground. It's impossible for him, so he's going to fall.
Yep, here comes the counter rotation though. Thompson just able to find Insania. Not as valuable as the kill, unfortunately, as the kill onto Sumail. It is something. In the meantime, he will be able to scout these stacks if they had a brew in here for the Mars. And I'll actually be able to steal a couple of them, farming some neutrals along the way. So not the worst rotation out from Thompson, but it's not quite a kill onto the enemy carry.
Yeah, because they because they got the rotation first on Mars.
Oh, hold on. Sumail already coming top.
Oh, he is coming top. Okay. So yeah, because they got the rotation first with Mars. Fuck the same thing top. So now you have to try to do something big top to kill Illidan because you only got a support out of it. There's the Reality Rift. Once the Chaos Bolt, Illidan could be in trouble. Thompson joins. Stream Cold Thought been used. Illidan is going to fall to Thompson. Nice little kill there. And this can result into a tower that'd be ideal, but maybe Seb just wants to go bottom to try to help out. Make sure you don't lose your tier 1 for free against the other. I mean, you have Chakram, right? I don't know if you can afford to stay up top this much.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, and here he goes. Okay, now Seb's making the rotation as soon as Quakeva shows. I'm level 6. I've already got the Spider Army brew in here, quite large, and here's Quakeva already looking to cut waves. Luckily, Timber is able to, you know, also do the same thing with great ease. So it shouldn't just be the Broodmother just casually taking this tower too easily. It's top lane. Illidan looking for another kill. It's got a little bit of damage stolen. 56, more than enough to get the kill here on the Soxa. In fact, he might escape. No. Instead, Taiga pulled in by the Reality Rift of Sumail. Short little stun onto Hoodwink, but there's heals immediately from Insania. They won't be able to progress any further here.
Alright. They took a small line kill. It's not that big a deal because TimberSoft managed to stop this push down bottom, and as you can see, Quakeva just now cutting lanes, recovering. This is the flash farm we're talking. Deal situation for Broodmother, but a situation that is okay, acceptable for Quakeva, and a way to recover and still put pressure. In the same way, Liquid is going to respond to OG by trying to go up top and preventing them from taking an easy tower. After all, the Razor versus CK matchup does benefit the Razor ever so slightly. Taiga, however, won't be benefited by this too much. There's a Fate's Edict, and he's a scurry already. Dream Cold just for Insania. He used the Winter's Curse to get rid of the Razor, and Insania should die. No! With a pushback, Insania's fine for now. And if an Illidan is going for the Winter Wyvern, trying to kill No-Tail, he is going to get that kill. He stole a bunch of damage, has the magic wand. Illidan trying to get away. Here comes Buck to help him out. The arena just a bit late. Phase shift avoids that spear. Thompson is fine for now. As they haven't lost her up just yet. Waiting room to the high ground. Thompson, he still avoid more damage. The healing from the Purifying Flames is keeping him alive. Thompson going up to the high ground. He wants to get away, but will he succeed? He might just have to consider suicide. And he's not even going to get it. Thompson will die to Insania's auto attack there.
Yeah, really, really nice play by Insania. OG just really looking to utilize those early ultimates. We're not really looking for a full 5-on-5 engagement, which I think why those were 2 solo ults onto one curse and a coil. Just because they want these pickoffs, they want space for the tower. Unfortunately, not only will they not get the tower, but they'll lose Thompson for that. Boxy just covering around the top lane. Last time wasn't able to make any plays out from it. This time, though, he's rather successful and is able to at least turn the tides of that fight. OG, though, persistent as ever. They'll head straight back top. Yep.
I think Liquid is responding accordingly. They're still finding farm for Boxy, which is going to be the main space creator in the early game. And then Illidan just staying top, this tower won't fall. That's as much as he needs right now. Eye of the Storm is right second. He's stolen a bunch of damage. Drinko, though, they don't care for the stolen damage. You're going to burst him down. If you can't attack, what's the point of the static link? That's what OG's discovered. Best way to deal with Razor is murder.
There's a 3-second stun. We also had Boxy already take care of that tier 1 down bottom. Massive Spider Lane army here has been amassed as he's actually going to look to now rotate it to the mid lane. Solo curse here, not going to do much for Boxy as yep, they've got him quite easily. No-Tail will fall.
Radiant's middle tower.
And that's the moment where he knew he had screwed up. That was a moment there where Winter's Curse stayed for a second too long, realized Broodmother wasn't there, probably rotating. And Quakeva's playing a bit more active. Broodmother not staying in the bottom lane, wanted to put pressure mid as well. TimberSoft didn't quite cancel her entirely in the early game.
They're making another play top. Illidan with the link on the Soxa. The arena's erected. Only catching Sumail in it. Illidan with a 40 damage stolen or thereabouts. And Sumail attempted to TP away. The Hex for Taiga to stop a stun from coming through, but they didn't need Illidan with plenty of damage already. Soxa with a nice juke here. It does manage to avoid the bushwhack as no TPing on in. Even without Curse, is going to be able to repel them, Liquid, from going any further underneath that tier 1 tower.
I'm glad that Illidan has not changed since the... He's not the win condition kind of carry. He's the utility carry that helps you out. The brawling carry that is always active. Razor suits is perfectly used to play it a lot. And it's suiting them because they've managed to defend this tier 1. And now the jungle swap that OG would be looking for is not possible. Liquid is capable of still taking over bottom. And once they take over mid, this Mars comes online, they'll start pressuring OG heavily. However, the threat of the puck is still a thing for OG here, or for Liquid rather. And we talked about this, lack of stuns on puck and if Thompson have a really free game,
Radiant's bottom
maybe that's what they're
tower
waiting
is
for.
under
Thompson
attack.
to get 1 or 2 big guys, particularly the Witchblade, and then going ham on the enemy.
Yep. So Seb he's abandoned all hope down in the bottom lane. That's infested by spiders, and he'd rather not. If there's one thing that Timbersaw is afraid of after trees, it might be spiders. Fights breaking on the mid lane. Finger of death with Boxy. They knocked him down. Winner's Curse here on a Koifa. Only one creep to surround him. The stun is 3 seconds onto him. Sharpshooter, those going to pick up Saksa. Embrace with the Wyvern. Koifa has got plenty of healing, and Sani as well. Still holding on to the false promise here, as now Koifa turning and murders No Tail. Doesn't get much lifesteal off, but now Sumail left behind. He could be in trouble. Quakefa, though, returning, realizing that Seb's TPN on Oak. On any trouble. Bushwhack at least holding down Seb. But it was Thompson in face of Illidan. He's got still a decent amount of damage now, 72.
No, it's like, guys, why are you backing? We can still murder them, Seb, in the middle of this, though. He's not afraid of spiders, by the way, because they immediately use the reactive armors.
That's true. Yeah, he's really not afraid of spiders. He just wanted to farm top and top. That was the joke.
Yeah,
the attempted joke.
Illidan, by the way, or sorry, in that fight, I really want to point out that Taiga's done this a couple of times. He's always there for the retreat, because since Bushwhack takes away the vision from the target, right? It's so very difficult to chase after you when the guy leading the charge. If he's stunned, fine, he can't charge any further. But if he has no vision, it's difficult for the rest of OG to continue, because Liquid could be setting up for a trap. So it puts you in a very precarious position. I like how Taiga's playing this. He's like, Bushwhack for free? No tail? Could just die here. They're charging the sharpshooter.
Oh, get down, Mr. President.
Nice job. Sumail might be a carry, but he's a support heart, helping out his teammates. What a nice
Power
guy.
of friendship.
Yep.
They have that flower power going now for OG, making sure that No Tail stays alive.
Meanwhile, you tap into the
here,
comms, and it's just no screaming at me like, block me, they're gonna kill it, block me now, I got you to this team. I know. We like to hope for the best things from the players.
Illusion.
Sure, they've got some positive vibes going. That's what they said yesterday anyway, after their initial win. Coil dropped here for Illidan just to make sure they could chase. In fact, Thompson was looking to go back, but Boxy, again, just rotating top, third time now this play. Didn't work the first time, worked nicely the second time, third time he even is rewarded now with this kill onto the puck. I love Boxy's persistence at just continuing to rotate top for the turns. Mid lane, Saksa. It's going to get the cold embrace, as now Seb broken, but does keep Saksa alive.
Taiga's been very on point. From the casual kills, the great Bushwhack, they're using sharpshooter for... Remember, the sharpshooter does push you back, so helps you a lot get out of these situations. Can be used in escape, not the longest cooldown ever. I feel like Liquid is taking advantage of OG's indecision with the movement sometimes. Liquid's always edge that. Of course, Illidan just leading. Go for Seb. Now Taiga could be in trouble. Using the false heart to save Winter's Curse to reset this fight. Can they continue? It's OG. No win. Boxy's ready. No arena though. They're gonna burst down Illidan. At this rate, he's been hexed. They turn him into Sochi. Illidan will fall.
Spiders are coming.
A freebie there. Taiga does Bushwhack Thompson. But they have the damage to kill him. They do with a sharpshooter. Taiga just had it ready there. As Seb trying to run away, trying to save Notail, but the spiders end up finishing him off. Nice little Fortune Zen. Pretty long duration as well, but Spear wasn't ready to push him back just yet. But trying to find the supports, but he looked off the spider army. Just got new one off Sox's dead corpse.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Nice little for Liquid there, despite losing Illidan, I'd say.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you get 3, you get another overextension basically out from Thompson. He ends up just way too far out from his team. And OG then are a little bit stretched thin, which made it a perfect time for Koifa to just kind of nip him in the butt like a true spider would, immediately onto the Winter Wyvern. He didn't have the cold embrace anyway, but it's still super useful for exactly this, as at least are able to live thanks to the web regen. But Lion as well was really in a bit of a pinch. Good teamwork though out from OGs. They're going to be able to get him out. Seb looking back now for this tier 1 tower in the mid lane, which they failed to get before, and Sanya holding him down with the roots. That is the vessel already completed here for Taiga. Roots into the vessel, and now Illidan coming back. We fighting, boys, we fighting. Onto the other side of the river though, and despite having the vessel debuff applied to Seb, should still be able to stay alive for now. Boxy looking to change that. Sharpshooter calculated, will find him. No Tail without a cold embrace. It is going to die to the Spiderlings, if not Boxy, trying to at least get the Spiderlings to get the kill. No such luck. He is going to go down to the auto attacks of Taiga, and it's Liquid who actually take the mid tier 1 tower first.
Judging by his performance, I don't think Illidan is asked if they fight. He just goes in. It's just immediately leads the charge. And it's been working for them, you know. Broodmother has been kind of a win condition. Up top.
What's he doing up here?
He was trying to cut or push the lane. Instead, he'll be pushed into a coffin.
He's so close to his Blink Dagger as well. I think that's probably what he was doing.
Trying to top in here alone. Or even commit the Dream Coil just in case. He's on to false promise actually, I think. And the Dream Coil will stop that with the mini stun.
Yeah, better safe than sorry. You don't want to waste that kill. For now that now that you've lost your tier 1 tower, I don't think you really want to be making any too aggressive plays here for OG, because they can't reinforce quickly. You can't buy back, you can't reinforce if someone else is split push across the map. So, you know, I support the move. Secure the kill. You don't mind not fighting for a full minute. Just farm a little bit here. I say that now, but Nortel is looking to try and farm up some spiders. And here's Seth. Gonna need to push in top lane. He's just finished off the Crimson Guard here after the Vanguard. We'll have that one fully completed and on the way. It's gonna do a big favor to his supporting staff to make sure that they don't just, you know, immediately eaten by all the spiderlings. And we're gonna smoke this fight here soon.
Choice. Because they've been getting killed often by the spiderlings as well. So I think the Crimson Guard did. I mean, as an offlaner, you can lead, but if you have nobody to follow you, who cares, right? The Crimson Guards are...
Agreed. Seb held down.
That ability
They're
is
rotating around the spider though, or rotating around the squirrel.
A bushwhack has an absurd range. I swear I wasn't even close to a tree. And if you timber chain, you can even actually practice it with the tree gets broken, but if you timber chain into a couple of trees, bushwhack can easily predict it. So pseudo counter to timber saw in that sense.
I could see it. I could see it.
Dagger finally on top. So now I think is when he becomes too slippery to get killed. Is this a turning point here for OG, perhaps?
I think it could be. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get much out from that smoke. Now, the Blink Dagger is going to be revealed by the ward right outside of Roche. I believe that is Taiga fervently pinging, pardon me, making the entire team aware of the Lion Blink Dagger. So that shouldn't have much of a surprise now on the likes of Liquid, who themselves, they've got a do they have a smoke? Let's see one here actively. They do. It's going to be on the Hoodwink instead, who is looking to just continue farming and keep the wave pushed out top lane. Okay, hit with the Yule Scepter of Boxy. Arena walls are erected, and that will leave Seb in a very bad spot. The break in case they needed it. Winter's Curse again from NoTail does not connect onto anyone. Only holding on Illidan for a second and a half is now NoTail attempting to TP away. Just way too much burst damage. The physical damage insane right now out from Koikba.
Now the Roshan is a possibility for Liquid as well. I don't know if OG can fight this. I mean, you have no Winter's Curse there. You still have a Dream Coil, but are you even interested in fighting this? It's gonna take a while actually for Liquid to take this anyway. Nope, Thompson seems interested. There we go. With the Dream Coil. If he can even kill Koikba there, it's honestly kind of a freebie right now.
We've got a Halberd as well for Sumail. He's finished that one off after Sanj and Armlet. It's Liquid will realize, oh, we don't actually have any minus armor, so we don't do this too quickly.
That moment's like, oh, you didn't pick up a medallion? Oh, I didn't pick a medallion either.
Oh, my bad. Where's our medallion? Oh, you went Vessel? Okay, there's a Timber. Insane, I'm a position 5, dude. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it's true, it's true.
I'm not a snap fighter. I don't farm.
Then you check Tiger's head and he's like, wait, what's that Maelstrom for? Yeah, you know, I got my Vessel. I have a right. It's actually the same build that MSS was doing in Major, actually. There was a game where they were playing the Hoodwink and they just let him farm for a while to kind of become a pseudo game.
OG managed to sneak it. Thompson picking up the Aegis as well here. Means that Liquid is going to be thanked for doing them a favor.
Yep, Reality Rift for you, dude. Just a little small amount of minus armor will do the trick here. CK really not bad Roche Taker either, honestly.
That really is all it took.
And you are Radiant. You have an advantage there. Top.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, Sansa yet again, unable to blink away. Will be killed off pretty easily by Boxy. He's got Blink and Yules now. I think I'd like this as a solution. I feel like for a lot of the Mars, usually you'll see one or the other. But he's been having, honestly, a pretty good game. He's third in terms of net worth. And we do need as many resources as we can get, especially early on, to try and stop Thompson from just, again, having a free game. So far, I'd say that they're quite successful. 5-3-2 right now on Thompson as we look over towards the mid lane, where Seb is going to turn and just get all the Spidey lanes, leaving only one alive with the Crimson Guard active. And retaining his way around. Boxy, though, is going to be able to find NoTail. Arctic Burn active, but shot down there with the crossbow bolts of Taiga. We'll get yet another kill here onto the Winter Wyvern. TECWARE 7-2-7 right now on the position for Squirrel.
I agree. I feel like his performance of Hoodwink has been out of this game. And this is why I think the Hoodwink does a bit better on the 4 position, right? Like, I don't mind 5 positions Hoodwink. I think it works. But the 4 position just gives him so much, so much liberty to get kills all over the map, get some more expensive items, become a pseudo core later onto the game. In this game, you kind of need it. You don't have any full core or any full carry really. Mars, Razor, Broodmother, they all kind of fulfill this condition somewhat. OG has a very clear carry in the form of CK, a nice scaling core as well in the form of a Puck. So it's nice to get the Hoodwink to fill that gap and mitigate some of the impact or some of the weaknesses you have in the late game.
Yeah, it's also going to help your illusion clear quite a bit. You know, if you pop Phantasm in the middle of the fight, TECWARE, now that he's just about to complete the Maelstrom, is going to be able to yeet an Acorn right at him, and that'll do a good amount of damage here, as well as slowing, of course, the CK and trying to get rid of these illusions. So a little bit more illusion clear. Not bad, considering your 2 other cores, Razor and Broodmother, aren't really famous for their ability to take down, you know, waves of enemies. More of just a 1v1 kind of vibe on these guys. So, you know, if you got the money, you know, you got to flaunt it here. That's exactly what TECWARE is looking to do. OG yet again smoked up. And he's looking for a fight as NoTail up to the high ground he goes, planting the ward. Will be able to scout Insania and Illidan both. And instead is just going to choose to try and TP away. Looks like they maybe...
That moment where you see a tree breaking and you're like, was there something there?
Tower is under attack.
Oh, they're going to get the D ward immediately. And I believe that's Illidan just finishing off BKB, if I'm not mistaken, right? Freshly delivered.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yep. As fresh BKB for Illidan. A little bit of a turning point since we don't see an Ags on Puck just yet, but Thompson's actually kind of close to it. 700 gold for that BKB. That's a really easy way to control Illidan.
Radiant's bottom tower
And also
Tier 2 tower trade proposed, likely to be accepted by both teams. OG, without a fortify here, are going to just lose the tower to all of the Spiderlings. Lots of those. But in exchange, they should be able to get this tower, I want to say. It's taken Seb quite a while, though. And it looks like Liquid, yeah, with the disarm, of course, if you disarm any neutrals, and Pango players will know this, they just stop moving. Same can be said of all of the all of the lane creep in the game. You disarm them, they will stop moving.
Creep's only purpose is to murder things, so of course, if they can't attack, what's the purpose of their life? So they should sit there still forever.
Smoke on smoke. Liquid are going to be heading back to their own jungle where they see Thompson. Aegis still available though for another minute. Yule Scepter boxes Yules himself, and now Seb on the way in. They almost get through Insania. He does manage to pop the ultimate onto him. Could kill him off. TECWARE finally with the kill onto Saksa. BKB now held down by the Winter's Curse yet again. Seb still looking for these backlines along with Thompson as the Maelstrom propped up from the Acorn shot. Doing a bit of work. Illidan though getting focused as he's been kited around by NoTail. Sumail throwing the 3-second stun on top. Thompson as well closing the gap. Bushwhack not finding anything as it's going to be Illidan instead taking the drop. TECWARE held down now in place by the Dream Coil. Ought to be finished off here just with the right click alone. Seb with the for chain able to get the job done. OG still hunting for more, but no one else in the area for Liquid means that it's a successful fight, a 1v2 or 2-for-1 trade, and the reveal here of the Lion Aghanim Shard, which actually made him a little bit more annoying than Liquid were prepared for.
To me, the biggest reveal actually was the Lotus Orb. Both incredible Lotus Orbs. The quick Lotus Orb on Thompson saved him from the Fortune's end route, right? Allowed him to move freely, like it was immediate right after. And then even forcing back the Acorn shot would actually put the Hoodwink in a difficult position because that does slow you ever so slightly. So well played. Really well played by Seb. Those Lotus Orbs were really quick, and it's almost like he knew what spells he had to dispel immediately. So I think that's a really smart pickup. The extra armor is also very useful this game. His Timbersaw performance has been very impressive this game. And that pretty much gave him the team fight, to be honest, with the 2 Lotus Orbs. And now Thompson is even more free than before. He's going to go for the Kai and Sanj, so starting to actually build some items that will give him some damage. Insania does the ward. Now he's technically invisible, but Sam has so much area damage, he doesn't seem to care. They will kill the courier on top of that. Winter's Curse for Illidan, but here comes Boxy. The slew of stuns for Illidan, who has the BKB. NoTail is in trouble. He's going to come out of this ice. With a headache, Illidan will finish him off, and Samael wants to continue fighting first. Illidan with that disarm of the head tower. Samael just kills him. A big spider and a Spartan is trying to go after Samael. Can they do so? They did break the tree, but didn't know there was an axe on it. So Koigo will get stunned for quite a while, but same with the false promise. Now the Hex instead for Insania, punishing him for his sins. Liquid will end up losing 3. OG turns this team fight around, and now they're in the lead.
Sumail showing up with the boys. He added so much damage there. Despite a full duration static link, a full 174 damage stolen from the Winter Wyvern, it just wasn't enough. Sumail able to just kind of 1v1. I mean, they did him the favor of doing it one at a time, first versus Illidan, and then Koigo joining the fight a little bit later. But that just made it a little too easy. It was a great initial arena out from Boxy, but unfortunately, they didn't really capitalize off of it too well. That's going to be then OG already up into the high ground tier 3 tower, taken down. Looking for the first lane of Barracks. The acorn shot. There's a couple of procs out from the Maelstrom.
The bushwhack actually catches the illusions. Good bushwhack. I still think these racks will fall. Samael will end up taking this one lane of racks. Seb, no, hit it. Nice, hit it. There we go. Seb gets stuck to a tree, but it's fine. We're good. He can get away. He also has the Kayan sign, so he's pretty resistance.
He's trying to cut off a backliner here. Instead, he's going to be punished for this one yet again. This time, though, he's not going to look to snap the coil, but Sumail's going to snap his neck. I don't know if spiders have necks, but that's Sumail. He's just murdered Koigo. Arena set up, though. Ties too fast on the phase shift. And now Illidan was expecting that one to connect. He's got a BKB just to run away. OG, though, their foot's on the gas. They're not letting up here. Now Insania back onto the low ground. Sumail trying to pull someone out of position here. Just needs the vision. Will settle eventually for Boxy, who now pops his BKB, but Illidan hexed up. Saksa on the high ground, removing him, slowing the mana, or slowing the Razor to a crawl. Which I think eventually are going to have to back off, considering they cannot yet push this tier 3 tower, considering the tier 2 is still pretty healthy.
Yeah, just wait for the Roshan now. There's no need for you to... I mean, take the tier 2 mid and then go for the Roshan. You know you're in the lead now because Liquid could not really execute their tri-core. Hoodwink hasn't been able to transition to being the pseudo-core either. Just yet. Later on, Liquid might be able to recover a bit, but right now you're in the lead completely. We did speak about how free this puck is, and I think it's showing more and more in these fights, right? These Dream Calls he can use. Actually doesn't really care, he just needs to catch one hero they want to kill. He's constantly all over the place, stops it, nobody can really catch up to him and murder him. Even with the build-up box he went for, which I think was pretty appropriate, you need a hack for something. Yeah. Because those phase shifts has been so hard to stop.
And I think it's going to get even harder now. This is BKB on the way. It's actually the Kaya and Sanj. It might be the better choice here, to be honest. Because I think these fights are destined to go a little bit longer than the duration of a BKB, but now there's phase shift in a second. Great Winter's Curse here, and we're going to be able to use that waning rift to escape the walls. The Arena Sharpshooter is going to fly away harmlessly. Sebdo looks to counter-initiate. He's got actually the flamethrower active onto Boxy, pinned to a tree and held down now about the bushwhack. Liquid is looking to buy themselves enough time to escape, but OG yet again going aggressively. The coil finding both supports. Seb diving underneath the tier 2 tower now. Plenty of damage. Sumail onto the backlines with the Phantasm active, as Illidan is looking to try and do the same here to Saksa. Sumail held down a bit by the pushback, as there's going to be now the false promise used on Insania. Sumail has dispatched at least of Taiga. Koigo is going to be eluding the fight, but Sumail and Seb onto the tier 3 towers. There goes Insania.
They forced Illidan to TP back home there. Sumail wants more kills. He has a Blink Dagger and 4. Boxy also wants these kills. Oh, look at the Lotus Sword! That sets up yet again Boxy in trouble. It's once more Seb with a split-second Lotus Orbs. Getting a kill he had no right to there. What did he have for breakfast today? Must have been the best.
That's what everyone was asking yesterday for Saksa. He had his Wheaties today. That is, got the reaction times right now.
Oh, I see, the Wheaties. I see. Seb takes down they're going to take this tower relatively easily. And... yeah, what does Liquid do, honestly, to get back into this game? It's tough for them. I know, like, their drive is just not made to play this late, and definitely not meant to play this late, this far behind, right?
Yep. I mean, OG, I think now they're remembering. Okay, guys, what do we do now? All right, Roche is up. Second Roche in the game, most powerful Roche. They, you know, buffed by something like, I think, 160% or something with the addition of a 1,400 gold item on top of the cheese. So far, though, they've got no interest. They're just seeing, they're waiting around to see if Liquid will at this stage, you know, make a pretty aggressive move into their own triangle, which is kind of a crazy thing to say considering it's their own triangle, but that just tends to be the pace of the game when you're down 13k with a Broodmother on your team. Playing a damn good game here for sure, but like you're saying, it's not just a draft. It's just not a draft, rather, that's meant to go late game here.
Now Insania. He has the Glimmer Cape for now. We have a bottle, a haystack on Sumail in case he needs this. I like that the Cleave talent also gives CK's a... I think this is partially why CK has been picked up a lot these days. I've seen the Cleave talent being picked up on almost everyone. Because that extra little farming speed it gives you into the mid game makes you a really solid like it. CK always was in that position, often fall off. Because what build go for that gives you farm? Midas really was the only one. It was a very sink or swim kind of carry. The Cleave gives you a lot more of a contingency plan.
Thompson is itching for a fight. He caught just a whiff there, and Foxy walked in and cleared the way. God's Rebuke, and Thompson immediately jumps onto the Illusory Orb there that he just threw to clear the wave as well. That'll at least buy them the space and the time to do Roshan though. Second Roche, Aegis Cheese, and that Shard on the way here of OG after they... I mean, you remember the circumstances that kind of aligned for them to be able to sneak the first Roche, having absolutely no problem this time around. In fact, Reaver in the quick buy. Is that going to be for the overwhelming blink? Yeah, it is.
Interesting. Is that to cancel more blink daggers? Just because, I mean, he did go for the spell amp, so I guess it does amplify that too.
Canceling blinks, slow versus Taiga is going to be super punishing. If Liquid can get like one kill here and refill that vessel, I mean, it's just so difficult now. Thompson, or sorry, Seb making with the Bloodstone on top of the Lotus that he's just making play after play after play with. There's Sumail now with another item.
Smoke here.
Part of Tarask for Sumail.
Okay, Taiga trying to kill the line first. Oh, not in the middle of Aeon. That's not what you were looking for. Foxy still has the original blood. Thompson safe. They're gonna kill Motel first, but Ilden is in trouble as well. Sumail just pummels him to death. Foxy's the next target. They silence him and crush him. They just taken 2 cores out of the fight. It's only a big spider left. What to do first? They go for Insania and Taiga. They leave Koikva alone. The spider's been leaped. GG is called. Liquid has had enough. OG will take game number 1 in a very deciding, very impressive fashion, honestly. Particularly great performance from Seb.
I might use the word decisive. I think like it's not decisive in the true way that I think you think of a lot of victories. Like, it wasn't decisive in the way that, for example, VP beat OG yesterday. Those games were over.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like they